Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. My name is Leon Jones, and tonight I'm going to do something different. I normally do live streams on Wednesdays. Now, what I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to make sure I continue to do pre recorded content and I'm going to do live streams. Now, I'm not going to do as many live streams as I've done in the past. Live streams take a lot of work. Well, what I'm going to do if I have a topic that is interesting to me, I'm using my own videos, which are going to be pre-recorded, and I'm going to place them on my live streams. And tonight is going to be no different. Now, as you all know, I am a big fan of TLC. Now, TLC features Little People, Big World, I Love a Mama's Boy, Smothered. Now, some people might not understand those shows like I do. That's why I utilize the trailers. And of course, this video is going to be no difference. Correction, this video is going to be no different. And the title of tonight's video is Mom Needs to Cut the Cord. Mom needs to cut the cord. Now, I say that because what you're going to see is information from the show that I watched called I Want a Mama's Boy. Now, coming up in August, I am going to present some trailers on a show called Smothered. Now, if you're not familiar with Smothered, Smothered is basically the same type of show that I Love a Mama's Boy is. In other words, if you put a coin together, they're the opposite sides of the same coin and they have the same plot. The mother is always meddling in relationships. Now, I'm going to find some old clips of Smothered, and I believe I'm going to stick them in this video as well, so you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, the clip that I'm about to show is going to feature a mother named Kelly and her son. And of course, the son's girlfriend. Now, looking at Smothered, that's the mother and daughter. I call them the sister-daughter type relationships. Well, basically, the mother and daughter are very immature people. Now, I Would Love a Mama's Boy. You really got to tune in to see what's going on. Now, of course, the mother needs to cut the umbilical cord, but there are a couple of episodes where the mother is right because the girlfriends that their sons have are not for them. Now, what I'm going to do, just bear with me. I am going to share my screen here. And sharing my screen, I am also going to share my sound. Okay. You have to excuse all the nonsense that's on the screen. Fair use. Now, this one is about Matt's girlfriend won't let his mom have a key. Fair use. Fair use. And I will stop the video and explain what's going on in this video. Fair use. Fair use.
So today the architect is coming to discuss the plans for our new home, which will be, of course, on Kelly's property. Expect nothing less. Hey, Glenn.
Matthew,
Hi,
Kelly.
Kim. Nice to meet
Matt,
you.
nice to meet you.
Matt, you said Matthew?
Hi, Kelly. Yeah, Pat, Matt, Kelly, Kim. It's easy.
When you guys are going to be living here, have you put any thought into where you might want things?
Yes. Okay, so yes, we're gonna be living like walking distance from their home, but ideally we'd still have like those private spaces.
So focus some things out the back, maybe patio areas on
Yeah.
the back side.
Right, is
A
that-
little more, yeah, that's what we thought about.
We were thinking open concept for sure.
I don't know if I like that.
Now, right here in this clip, you see that Matt's the son, Kim is the blonde on the right, and of course, Kelly is the big-haired Caucasian lady about my age. Now, Kelly is talking about a correction. Kim is talking about what kind of house she wants. Now, again, the house is going to be about 14 to 20 feet away from the mom. And the reason why this is happening is because the mom wants to keep tabs on her son's relationship. Now, Kelly has a man. Believe it or not, Kelly is married. But the husband is too afraid to tell his wife to get more involved in marriage instead of getting involved with what her son and what Kim is doing. Now, eventually, the mother is going to be right about this. I hate to say, because Kim is going to take a job in Texas. And that's going to break up the relationship. Now, if you ask me my opinion, I never thought Kim was right for Matt anyway. She's too focused on careers. She's a feminist, in my humble opinion. Now, the intention, the mom sees something in Kim that I see. I believe Kim is very selfish, but also the mom is very selfish because she wants to keep the son for herself. She will not cut the apron strings. And this new house that's being built for Matt's girlfriend and him, the mom wants a key. So that means the mom still wants to regulate what's going on in their house. And of course, the house is going to be on the mom's property. Fair use. Let's continue.
You don't like open concept?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to keep my options open.
Okay.
We can talk about that, though.
We'll work out some layouts.
Is that okay? Can that work?
I mean, I feel like the architect just like asked like what we want, so.
Yeah, but we want to include mom because this is part of mom as well. She has some ideas.
Matt and I have talked about things that we want on our wish list, but when it comes to decision making, like Matt feels this need to get that opinion from Kelly, and it makes me feel like what's my place and what's the purpose of me giving my opinion to begin with.
And what about a guest room when I want to stay over?
You can't walk 20 feet back to the house?
Now, as you see what's going on in this clip, the mother is already putting her 2 cents in to what she wants in a house that's going to be for her son Matt and his girlfriend Kim. And you look at the architects. The architects can't believe what they're hearing themselves. And the mother wants to get so involved with what's going on, she basically is going to live in that house. Now, when I watched the clip on TLC, the mother actually claimed to have a bathroom in the house. And see, when Matt and Kimberly eventually broke up after Kimberly moved to Texas, was the mom happy about that? Absolutely, because that meant the mom could control her son. And for you ladies out there, you need to look at the boy and his mother to see how they relate to each other. If they're extremely close, you don't want that relationship because you're always going to be the third wheel. Now, again, the mom has good intentions. And the mom eventually is going to find out when this relationship dissolves. It's going to dissolve because, for the most part, Kelly wants to go her own way and have a career. As far as Matt is concerned, Matt's always going to be around his mom because his mom is giving him that treatment that no other woman is going to give her. Matt's mom feeds him, clothes him. Matt and his mom work together. Matt's mom does everything for this boy, and he is 30 years old, still living at home. When this happens, there's a failure to launch. And that's what's going on right now. Matt is never going to leave. So any woman that comes into his life, woman's got to deal with his mother. Fair use. Let's move on.
I like options.
But we need like that privacy, like that's what we just talked about.
I don't think I'm being unreasonable to have my own bedroom there. I'm paying for it. So that's the way it is. And Kim is just going to have to get used to it. Maybe I could talk to you about it, about setting up the house for an older person, maybe grip rails along the walls.
You want to do grip rails now?
And for a wheel.
Now you see how the mother is trying to weasel her way into a house that's going to be built for her son and his girlfriend. She's telling the architects what she wants in the house. Now, something else that Kelly did was the mom that you see in this picture. Kelly is the one who paid for this house. Now, is that dangerous? It is very much so, because guess what? That gives Kelly the option to control what goes on in that house. You even heard her. She said she wanted a bedroom inside of the house. Why? So she can see what her son and Kelly are doing. Fair use. Let's continue.
Wheelchair instead of steps. We have a ramp.
It can all be laid out so there's minimal
Okay.
problems getting in and out.
When it comes to planning 30, 40, 50 years down the road, for me, it's like, why? Like, why are you making that decision right now?
I changed his diapers and he's going to be changing mine.
Babe, are you going to say anything?
I mean, I don't know. We kind of three have to be in agreement of what we're wanting.
Even though
and I want
it's-
mom's opinion of like what she thinks we should do too, so that
Yeah.
way we're all kind of on the same page.
So thanks for coming by, Glenn.
Fair
Kim
use. Let's
had the
continue. Now, do you see what the son did when he was asked to say something? The son was scared to death of his mama. Now, the mama said, I changed his diapers, so he'll be changing mine. Now, when you hear that from a grown woman who already has a husband, her husband should be in with his wife, having her legs high in the air, going deep while he's horizontal. The husband should be blowing his wife's back out. But guess what? It's not happening, Captain, because his wife wants to get involved in what his son is doing. And his son, well, her son is afraid to stand up for himself. This is what you call major league simping, because this boy is never going to be able to get along with any men because his mom has already made him a man filled with estrogen. He is emasculated. So when it comes to dealing with men, there's no hope for this. He's still a 30-year-old adolescent mama's boy. Fair use. Let's continue.
Deer in the headlight look. When you build a house like this, there's a lot to it that people don't foresee. If you want to test a relationship, do this. Kelly's got her ideas, Kim's got ideas, and Matt's just kind of standing out there in the middle hoping it all goes good.
For us, like, we have a Pomeranian, so that's like something that would need to be taken into consideration too. Is like a good dog door to have in the house.
No,
You gotta feel safe.
I don't want a
You're not gonna
doggy
feel
door.
safe with it.
Why don't you want a dog door?
Because I don't feel safe with it. Have you seen Home Alone where the crook goes in the doggy door?
And it's that big.
No, they'll find ways. I don't want it.
Like, we talked about this. Like, we want the dogs to be potty trained, want them to go outside. Like,
Yeah, but it's not a big deal, like she said, to just take them out.
I mean, I just feel like I want you to take my side on, like, for this.
Like, she's right. Like, that is Home Alone. They went through the dog door. You never know.
Now you see right here, Matt and Kim have already talked about it, but as soon as Matt's mother, Kelly, enters the room, Matt changes his tune a little bit. Matt doesn't know what side he's on. Look at the architect's eyes. They can't believe what's going on because, for the most part, they've never seen it. Usually, when you have a child who's 31 years old, he's on his own. He's married. He's not living with his mother. And again, his mother should be with her husband getting her back blown out. But instead, she is going to depend on her son to take care of her. And any girl who comes in her son Matt's life after Kimberly, she's really going to get the third degree. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find that trailer when she really asked his next girlfriend, Brittany, some questions. Because she even told Matt after, and this is Kimberly the blonde, they break up later on, but she told Matt that she's going to play hardball. So that means any girl who aligns himself up with Kelly's son is either going to be run off or there's going to be toe-to-toe fighting. And generally, you look at the types of women like Kelly are, they're yuppies. They got a lot of money. They got husbands that they run over. I mean, the husbands didn't teach the sons anything. And this woman who has a husband is basically going to try to sleep in the same house with her son and her son's girlfriend. Now, you have to ask the question, is there something wrong in the marriage? Because generally, if two people are married, it's particularly, except for this modern age, you get individuals who are married and they're living in the same house but sleeping in different beds, and some individuals have open marriages. This modern day type of living is all screwed up. But again, look at the architect and listen to Kelly. Kelly is this lady, the mother, who's put her 2 cents in when it comes to how she wants the house. And the son, he didn't stand up for his girlfriend. So that means his girlfriend is always going to be second to his mother. Now, this is what we guys go through when we're dating, but we have to go through a hell of a lot more. I mean, we're down at the bottom of the pyramid because we're dealing with job, grown kids, grandkids, dogs, family, friends, aunts, uncles, job, again, career, I said, everything. So we're always going to be down here. That's why I advise guys, when she has that much chaos going on in her life, Katie by the door. You can smash and dash because that's all it's going to be. But in the end, it's not going to be a relationship that's going to be nurturing. It's not going to be a relationship that's going to be comforting because she's bringing in chaos. Well, if you look at what Kelly, who is Matt's girlfriend, Kelly is Matt's mom. Kimberly is the blonde. At that time, that was Matt's girlfriend. You can see how Kimberly feels. The mom really wants to drive her away from Matt. Again, she wants to keep Matt to herself. Fair use. Let's continue.
I feel like this meeting is not really going as I expected it to go. I was really hoping that Matt and I would be more on the same page.
I really don't know what to say right now because Kim has all these great ideas that we have discussed, but then at the same time, I am not sure if my mom is happy with any of the things that are being discussed right now with the architect. So,
Again, you look how this grown man is talking. Matt and his girlfriend have discussed some great things they want, but none of those issues have been discussed with the mother. So you have to ask, who's really running this relationship? Because the son, he is very, very docile. I mean, he's like a feather right now. If you blow him, he would fall like a feather. He has no masculinity. You hear his voice. He doesn't speak with the confidence like I'm speaking right now on this video. He is afraid of his mother. Look at the mother. Look at the smirk. The mother likes this. She knows she's in control. That's why she paid for everything. You have to connect the dots. Let's move on. Fair use.
So it's put me in a situation where I don't know because I want both of them to be happy.
Kim, have you heard of that saying, listen to your mother?
Sorry, Kelly.
We can only figure out if we actually want it later because I don't really know now if it's something we do need. Because mom will be up here watching the dogs or we'll take the dogs down there.
But what if we aren't home?
I will have a key.
You're not having a key.
Why?
Because that's too far, babe.
I don't think it's a big deal if she has a key.
No, I'm not comfortable with that.
I like it. Thank you.
It scares me a little bit not knowing if Matt's ever gonna be able to set those boundaries. But I refuse to let Kelly have a key to our home.
Fair use. Let's continue. Matt is never going to set the boundaries. He loves it. The reason why he loves it is because no matter what girl comes into his life, he's always going to get free food. He's going to have his clothes washed for free. He's going to have a house. Again, his mom is paying for that house to be built. And again, the house is going to be about 20 feet from the mom's house, who's married. Again, if some people are asking, and let's get the likes up on this video, where is the father? No one knows where the father is. She doesn't even care about her marriage. Now, don't get me wrong, that blonde Kim, I don't trust her either. I mean, you can look at the deviousness in her face. Now, I caution you. Mommy may be right. Now, I've seen the trailers, I've seen the show, and I'm going to be doing more of these because I am, again, a fan of TLC. I'm going to have some clips out from Little People, Big World, where Amy left her husband of 20 to 30 years to marry somebody else who didn't have kids. That's going to be coming up as well. And that's another woman who wants to control everything. And if you look at Chris from Little People, Big World, he looks docile himself. So if you think about it, this is what happens when a boy is raised by a mama. Now, the funny thing about it is, Matt comes from a two-parent household. And we always talk about single mothers out here. But if you think about it, a two-parent household where the mother is dominant and the father is docile, you can equate that to a single mother. Matt is a man and he has no say. He is afraid. Every time his mother says something, whatever Kim and Matt talked about, he thinks it's no big deal because he's afraid to confront his mother. Because if he confronts his mother, he's not going to get that free living. Fair use. Let's continue.
So what did you have in mind out here?
Well, we're just talking about roof lines coming up.
So what do you think of it? Do you like it?
Ceiling height the same.
I do like it,
The same roof
but I do
coming out.
believe that we're going to have some issues.
Drop the ceiling.
She hasn't built any homes, Matt.
I know.
So I have a lot more experience. I have more experience in my life. So I'm going to have to listen to that.
No, I do. Yeah, I think you have a lot to. No, I want to hear what you need to say about
Yeah.
it. I promised Kim that I would have her back and I would be on her side with the decisions that we discuss. And I want to do that. And I'm trying to do it, but I know my mom's points that she's bringing up right now are valid. She's done all of this.
Fair use. Okay. Matt is depending on his mom to make the decisions for him. This is why he's never going to grow up. His mom has all the experience in the world. But again, the big question is, why isn't the mom with the dad? Now, let me also ask, why hasn't the dad pulled the mom up and say, hey, you have to let your son grow up? Well, I mean, I already have the answers because the mom is controlling everything. The dad has made the money and the mom is spending the dad's money. Now, of course, Matt, his mother Kelly, and Kimberly, they're out in California. And California, of course, is a state that is very expensive. They live in an expensive house. But in the long run, when it comes to Matt is always on the fence, or he always changes his mind when his mom is in the picture. Now, when his mom is not in the picture, he and Kelly talk about the ideas, talk about what they want to do. But if I were Kelly, I wouldn't even trust Matt because he's going to flip-flop. Kelly is never going to be first in this relationship, nor is any other woman going to be first in a relationship, because in the end, the mom is always going to come in between her son and every woman that he's dating. And I have some more clips to show you. But let's continue with this clip, because this is about Matt's girlfriend won't let his controlling mom have a key to his house. This is from I Love a Mama's Boy. Fair use. Let's continue.
Before she knows who to call, how to do it. Kim and I are just learning this. It's our first home together. So as much as I don't want to disappoint Kim and I want to like us to do this together, it's a little bit hard when I hear all these great things coming from my mom and I know that what my mom is saying is going to be perfect.
And you know, you've seen where we've built homes and Dad and I have argued. You've seen us.
Yeah.
So that's what you're gonna have to get ready for.
Well, do you think getting engaged and doing the home is
I think it's gonna be like 11 on the stress scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that Kim is being a little too wanty. She wants a house, she wants a proposal, she wants a wedding. What else? This is putting a lot of stress on my son.
Fair use. Now, I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to put this in reverse. Actually, the mother is right. See, when you have women and they're competing against each other, you're going to see the truth. See, if Matt was more observant, he needs to take a look at his girlfriend too. Because his girlfriend, me, I wouldn't trust her either. His girlfriend does want to lie. And what I believe is his girlfriend, Kim, is not good for Matt. But in the end, the mother has made it hard for Matt to even see how his girlfriend is because his mother is doing all the work for him. His mother, again, you're going to hear me repeat this over and over again. His mother wants her son to be near him. Now, you can tell she's the dominant one because she even admitted that the father and her have thought about building houses. So the man never put his foot down. And this is what happens when you're a man and you're not confident. You start giving her a point of view. You give her too many points of views. She starts to take over. Now, again, you know, being red pilled, okay, I'm just letting you guys know. You gotta have common sense when you deal with people. And again, now, do I feel sorry for Kim? Absolutely not. This is what we guys go through all the time when we're dating women. But we go through more. We go through all their wants. And they could be at the bottom of the barrel, but they have a lot of wants. But they have no idea how to get the wants. And they love to ramp with all the plans that they have, but they don't have a plan. But really, if you put everything together, they want to use your resources as a man to fund their lifestyle. This is why a number of them want a man making 6 figures or more, because they want to go on trips. They want to go eat at the most expensive restaurants. See, I put these shows on because I'm tying them into what's going on in the real world, and you're seeing it. And you have a lot of grown kids living at home, like Matt. Fair use. Let's continue.
So Kim needs to get with the program and just step back and let's just breathe and let's start with the house and see how that goes.
We had drawn out our own pictures of like layouts,
You've
which
sketched some ideas already? Well, those would be good to have.
Would you
all
like
together.
my lookbook too? Some sketches of mine?
Anything and
Okay.
everything.
Great.
You made one too?
Yes. You didn't know that, did you?
This is a really big issue that
Now, this is the blonde talking Kim right here. Now, again, and there's another one when I get to Shakiba and Emily. These modern women, you can't trust them either. I mean, okay, she looks a little devious herself. Now, of course, I don't like the fact that the mother is intervening with their relationship. She feels like she's a third wheel. Well, she's a third wheel because the son allowed himself to be caught in the middle between the girlfriend and the mom. And in the end, this is what happens when you don't do your homework. And in the end, this relationship's going to fall apart. Fair use. Let's continue.
we need to figure out a solution to. If Matt doesn't step up and tell his mom, we have to make decisions to ourselves. I think it might cause a lot of stress on our relationship and then our marriage, when we get to that point.
To be healthier, knowledge is everything. Steps, calories, exercise minutes. Because proven
use. All right. This is another one. And this is Annette, Jason.
Hey, Jason. Dinner's almost ready. I made your favorite meatballs.
Delicious.
Can I have some sprinkles, please?
Now, again, the mom, Annette, she also has a husband. Now, again, with Jason, this is a different type of relationship than with what you saw with Matt and Kelly, because Jason has a child and they're not married. And we always say that is a total no-no. And in this clip, the mom, she forbids her son from moving out of state. Fair use. Let's continue.
Ooh, give mommy sprinkles. Justina's from California. We met out there. But about a year and a half ago, I was able to relocate with my job back to where I grew up. We just had our daughter, and being able to move back by my mom was an opportunity I couldn't pass up.
It's Mommy Horsey. Mommy Horsey, where's Daddy Horsey?
Since we've moved to Illinois, not only is it hard to just adjust because it's a whole new state, but we basically live with Annette and Bill because we are here every single weekend. So it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
I work for a great company as a general manager in a hospital. They've relocated me in the past. It's actually happened twice. And fortunately, we were able to come to my family. But
well, of course, Christine said it wasn't going to be easy. Of course, it's not. You're living in somebody else's house. And when you live in somebody else's house, they can make the rules. Now, this relationship is even worse because you see, they're living in Jason's parents' house with a kid. And in the end, the mom is also married. But where's the father? The father's name is Bill. He's nowhere in the picture. He's nowhere in the picture because, again, he didn't put his foot down. And guess what? The mom has run amok. If you don't believe me, let's continue. Fair use.
I'll be relocating for my job again. So we're still trying to get those details together.
Do you want to go upstairs with Grandma?
Upstairs with Grandma.
Goodbye, Dada. We're going to go take a nap upstairs. See you later.
For my job, with growth means relocation, and it brings a level of anxiety with it because we're still trying to plan our wedding.
There is a lot of planning that we need to get done, but at the same time, we have to do what we have to do for our family. So if that's what we have to do.
crazy thing is it could take us anywhere.
Yeah.
Now again, you look at Jason's face. He's not really taking this seriously. Does he really want to relocate? Absolutely not. When you move back at home in your mom's house, in your dad's house. Now, I know when my brother and I had an apartment together back in 1988 before I went to the Navy, I moved in my mom's house for a very short time. And you know what? I was happy as heck to get out of that house. I thought I was in Russia. That's how my mom put those rules down. And her method to her madness was, I'm gonna lay these rules so I can get you out of my house anyway. And at that time, I was 24 years old. But see, I had already enlisted in the Navy, so I was waiting to go to boot camp. But still, living in with my own mom, couldn't stay in bed all day long. No, not gonna do that. You had to actively be doing something. At that time, there were no cell phones, so you couldn't run up her cell phone bill, her phone bill. Number two, you can't watch TV all day. You had to do everything that she wanted you to do. That's how my mom operated. And she operates like that now. That's why when I go visit, I make my visits very short because she likes her privacy. But that's my mom. But Jason's mom, you're going to get another point of view. Let's continue. Fair use.
So,
We're gonna have to tell your mom.
well, I don't know how she's gonna take that.
Well,
She's either gonna get mad at me, or she's gonna get just really sad, and I don't want to see her sad. And that's not news I want to break to my mom, because I don't think she understands the detail and what really could happen, that we could move to another state and to a different part of the country altogether. But it's something that we have to do, and a conversation that needs to be had.
Thank you. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Misa. You must be Annette and Jason.
Fair use. Now, again, this is another yuppie mom. You can see Annette. She's the short Caucasian girl. This is her right here. And you notice they got these real, I call them sarcastic smiles. And look at Jake. This is Jason right here. Look at him. He looks very sweet to me. I mean, he doesn't even look manly. His mom probably dressed him. He probably hangs around all of his mother's friends because, again, this type of guy is never going to have any guy friends that are going to be around him because his mother is going to intervene in those types of relationships as well. But the moms want so much control. Now, this is almost reverse Oedipus, the Oedipus complex, because it won't surprise me if some of these moms and sons are engaging in sexual activity. Now, I'm not saying it's happening here, but the control, the domination that these moms have over their sons is frightening. And these sons aren't 22 years old, they're 28, 29, 30 years old. Fair use. Let's continue.
Yeah, we're here for the couples massage. Excellent. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. My mom and I love getting massages. It's our alone time and time to catch up.
Well, I just love our mother-son time, you know? Yeah. Well, this looks nice.
Yeah. All right.
Good?
Already.
Good.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with spending time with my mother. Now, And my mother is still living. I love my mother. Now, we would not be going in there getting massages together. Absolutely not. We wouldn't be going in there getting our toes painted. No, not me and my mother. But you see this Jason and his mother, they go a lot. And when you go a lot, particularly to the same place to eat, the same place to get pedicures and manicures and massages, the individuals at that business, they start to notice what's going on because they don't see many mothers and sons going to spas together, going to massage parlors together. Now, you'll see mothers and daughters, yes, because that's something feminine to do. But mothers and sons, absolutely not. Now, fair use. Let's continue. It gets better.
When Jason and I go out on a date together, it's a great way for me to spoil him because I can just see how hard he works. He's on his feet all the time and he has his own family now. And so that quality time together is less and less. So I make a point to invite him to things like a foot massage or a couples massage with his mom. Just let her know if the pressure's not enough, okay? You got to make sure.
Now, fair use. She said a date and a couples massage with his mom. What does that sound like? Does that make a bit of sense? Now, if you're going to go to a couples massage and a date and you're a guy, that's when you take out your lady. And this is why a number of these women with these men are always going to have problems because they let their meddling mothers get involved in their relationships. Now, you notice all the decisions that are made. If mom's not happy, this goes back to what I said in my last live that I did. If mom's not happy, no one's happy. I never believed that. See, me, I don't care if mom's not happy. I'm not with mom. I love my mom. Certainly, I want to see her happy, but you got to bring your own happiness. But she's not happy unless she's controlling everything that her son does. Fair use. Let's continue.
He needs some really good pressure because he works really hard.
Oh my gosh.
You do?
I just spend a lot of time on my feet.
On your feet?
Yeah.
It's important for mom to be able to spoil you like this, you know? You do a really, really good job, and I'm proud of you. I really am so proud of the way that you support your family, work really hard. That's why it's important to me that you and I have these times out together so that I can tell you those things.
Now, fair use. Now, it's nothing wrong with his mom telling his son that he's doing well at supporting his family. But guess what? He's an adult. He made that baby. That is his job to support his family. Okay, it's nothing wrong with mom treating her son out. But now I have to question this. Why isn't the girlfriend doing any of this? And see, this is what gets these moms in their uproar. And this is where I start to side with the moms. Because the moms are actually doing what the girlfriend should be doing. And now these are Gen X moms, and they see what's going on with these younger moms and these younger women or modern women. These modern women have a lot of delusion, have a lot of selfishness. And I do believe some of these moms do see it. Now, again, you have to watch it closely to pick up the clues, pick up the cues of what's going on. Because there's some instances where the moms are right. Fair use. Let's continue.
Yeah, speaking of work, there's something coming up here in the near future that would make us move.
What do you mean? Move where? Closer to us? Like to the city?
Honestly,
Chicago?
it could be out of state again. And it's just, I have to do what I have to do.
And I get that, but it's just, you don't know in my heart how hard that sounds to have you guys.
Well, she's talking about her heart. She doesn't know how hard that sounds. So she has a husband that should be putting something hard inside her. That's what she needs. But she's so worried about her son moving out of state for a job. The son moved back because of his job to Naperville. You're not familiar with Naperville? I've been there. It's a yuppie town outside of Chicago. Now, again, the mom is supposed to love her child. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But she's going to do everything she can to not allow him to move out of state. Was she going to get him a job too? He has a family. And this is the problem. When you have people outside your relationship meddling in your relationship, they become part of your relationship. This is why a number of relationships fail. You don't believe me? This mom's going to show you. Fair use. Fair use.
You guys go away.
I'm going to show you the most amazing gift.
We got a really sentimental painting from Paint Your Life.
All right, there you
To even think about Jason moving away from me is just too much. I just want him to say, no, I'm not going to move away from my mom. I just don't understand how that could even be a possible decision. I don't think that's fair.
I mean, right now, Taylor's not.
Now, if you look at the massage therapist, they think this mom is whack because it's not normal. Now, there are parents who are close to their children, but you have a number of these parents who are living through their children. They want their children to be what they want them to be. And this is why a number of children get caught up when it comes to going to college. Now, in the end, I'm just going to speak like this. Both of these videos that I've shown, there were men, but these men are docile men. They allowed the woman to control the house. Therefore, she's controlling the kids. Now, of course, when this happens, you look at Jason. He was afraid to tell his mother because he was worried about her getting upset. I know if I told my mom I was moving out, she said, "Oh, I'm glad you are. When you moving?" Now, again, you see a lot of these moms like this, and they're yuppie moms, and generally they're suburban white women. You look at them. They're ones that go in there drinking the tea like this with the pinky out, going into Starbucks and Panera Bread, and they're going to spas. That's what they do in the yuppie communities. And some of these yuppies do keep their kids at home, give them this lavish lifestyle that they can't afford. But again, you're going to hear this mom talk to her son. Now, she's not going to read him the riot act, but she's going to talk to her son. And she's going to talk to her son to convince him not to move out of state. Fair use. Let's continue.
I'm in school. I can still get a promotion and climb the ladder a little more. I need to support my family.
I know, it's just really heartbreaking to think about that.
But this timeline is coming up quicker than I hoped. It could be a week, 2 weeks.
What?
Honestly.
What do you mean, a week? A week for what?
A week until they tell me, hey, it's time to go. And they pay for relocation and they send us and we just have to pack up.
This is making me nervous. What does Justina say about that?
I don't know. She's supportive, so we'd make it work, you know?
I mean, we've been a good family to Justina. Doesn't she say, hey, look at what your mom and dad do for the baby, for us?
Of course.
How could it be? I mean,
well, now, first of all, look at what the mom and dad do for the baby. That's a choice. Okay, they're grandparents. You know what grandparents do? They love their grandchildren. You know why? Because the biggest thing that they can do with their grandchildren, once they have them, they can spoil them and they send them right on home. They don't have to deal with them. And that's, of course, how we think as blacks. But you have some of these black moms in the same way. And I'm going to get some more clips on I Love Mama's Boy to show you that it's not only the yuppie white moms. But again, they really started a lot of what's going on with these kids living at home, with the interference in a relationship to try to, number one, keep their kids around them. Again, both clips that I've shown you, these women are married. Where are the husbands? Nowhere to be found. Let's go. Fair use.
And it's not going to be easy to pick up and go, right?
No.
Like you might think about staying?
I can't just leave my job. I'm not gonna lie, Justina doesn't want to stay here forever. But if I were to tell my mom that, she would throw all the promotion, all whatever is making me better aside and say, oh, it was Justina's fault. And that's just not a place I want to be in, or any of us to be in.
I mean, I know you're devoted to your company. I understand that, I do. But you're not thinking about all of the pieces. You're not thinking about how much of an impact it will be to not have family close by, to not have me.
Well, that's all BS. My family lives about 9 hours away, and I drove this past Saturday to see my family. Saw Tommy Jean's family. We got in the car. That's BS. See, the bottom line is, she wants her family right there so she can control them. See, sometimes when people do things for you, you got to be careful of that. And here's why. And family is the worst at this. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if something goes down with family, particularly family members that are doing something for you, they're going to throw it in your face. They do. It's the way to make you feel guilty. And see, this mom is trying to make her son feel guilty. Promotions. The man's trying to take care of his family. Mom isn't taking care of his family. Certainly mom likes the family there, but who wants to be living in their parents' house when you have no privacy? Now, there's some that want to because they don't have to do anything because, again, mom appears not to need her husband, but needs her son around. She feels important. Well, that's the husband's job to make her feel important, but she's neglecting her husband and she's keeping her son down. And in the end, this son's going to end up with nobody. He may end up a homosexual, and his mom will love it because she's going to do everything for him. Fair use. Let's continue.
There.
I mean, we would do what we have to do. We'd fly you out to see us. I mean, we would come to see you.
No, that's not the same. You don't see it like that. Jason, seriously, I cry when you guys leave to just go home an hour away.
I know. That's why it kills me to have this conversation with you. But
Now, this mom, in my humble opinion, is being awfully selfish. Look, when I went down there to see my mom, gave her the hugs and kisses, came back home, and I was happy to see my mom. But my visit to my mom's house, what made it great is I'm not down in her face 24/7, and she's not in mine. She has her own life. And see, ladies, you need to raise your children to have their own lives so they don't come back. Now, when I show you some clips from Little People, Big World, it's just too much family. What happened to the days where individuals had their own families and they visited their extended family when they wanted to? Now you got generations of family members living together, seeing each other every day. Didn't happen in the past. But if you look at it, I mean, this mom looks like she's going to cry. She does, literally. Her eyes are all red because she doesn't want her son to leave. And the son just mentioned that Christina, her girlfriend, well, his girlfriend, correction, let me use the right pronouns. His girlfriend doesn't want to stay there forever. And if they move, the mom's going to blame it on the girlfriend. The son has not stood up for himself. He's a eunuch. If you don't believe me, let's continue. Fair use.
That just makes no sense. It's not fair to any of us, honestly. I just don't think he's considering my feelings as his mother. I think he's trying to do whatever he needs to do to be the man he needs to be for Justina and for Taylor, and I respect that, but I also think he doesn't understand how much it will break my heart.
Fair, you won't. Your heart is broken because you want it to be broken. His job is to be the man for his family. If you taught him right, he wouldn't be at home in the first place. But you didn't teach him right. And in the end, your son is going to end up suffering. You got to cut the cord. Let him go. Fair use. Let's continue.
Well, if you tell them no, maybe they'll want to keep you and think of something else.
It's up to them what they want to do.
No, I am not going to let that happen. No, I don't think so. I think we'll have to just have a plan B. I will do whatever I can to get my son and his family to stay here in the Chicagoland area. I just don't think they're thinking straight when they say that they will consider a relocation again. We'll have to just come up with something else. Mom will come up with something.
Wow. Wow. Again, I just showed you two clips. Bear with me. Just showed you two clips. This is what happens when there's an issue with family. And this connects the dots to family is overrated. And it is. Now, from both of these clips I just showed you, you see that there's selfish family members out there. Now, let me see if I can find some more to share. I'm getting season 3 already hooked up. Again, fair use, fair use. Here's another one. Fair use.
Is perfect, except for one thing, his mom.
We've talked about marriage and things, and that's...
Gotta put a ring on it.
Shakib is my soulmate, but his whole life revolves around his mother.
I don't see anything wrong about it.
People don't understand my mom and I's relationship.
Jason, it's me.
They don't understand your mom's relationship because it's abnormal. You're too close. Now, again, I'm showing you some trailers. You may have seen them before, but I'm going to continue beating down these grown kids living at home with their mamas, and they're not doing anything, and their mamas are allowing it. And this is what's messing a number of men up. Fair use. Let's continue.
Mommy!
Hey.
Jason is a mama's boy. They go on dates.
She'll sit there and cuddle with him.
Yeah, make sure you get the middle back too, Mom.
I feel like I'm dating Matt and his mom. There are no boundaries. We don't have that intimacy anymore.
That's certainly spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a therapist.
Now, in this picture, this is when the mom and Matt, Kelly and Matt, went to a lingerie store. Now, this is a salesperson. She's looking at the mom like she's crazy. And the mom is crazy. And the son is a eunuch. The son is afraid of his mother. Now, that doesn't happen. And second of all, why in the world is a son hanging out with his mother in an erotic shop? Shouldn't that be for the son and the girlfriend? Boundaries. Number of these moms don't have boundaries. And that's the problem. And that's why these sons are weak. You don't believe me? Fair use.
Psychologist, but what is that?
In life, there's a hierarchy, and I'm right up top.
Feels like it's a competition. This girl that I love is pulling me one way, you calling me on the other hand, pulling me this way.
Well, it is a competition.
Who do you love the most, Emily or me?
I feel like Jason just is totally ignoring me. Basically, every time we're together now. My relationship with my son is very strained. Justina has a lot to do with that.
His mom has to like me before we get engaged because she is going to make the final call. And that's a horrible feeling to have.
You see what everybody on the outside is saying? This is not normal. It's not normal when the mothers and daughters do it either. But when the sons do it, it's even worse. This is why we got a problem or a man shortage in the United States. We have males, but we don't have men. Because the mamas are controlling the men. You look what happened on the BET Awards. Men wearing dresses, tights, long fingernails, lipstick. That comes from the moms. When your hierarchy doesn't have that man at the top, just consider dysfunction and destruction when that female's at the top. Because see, when it comes to men, we look at the future. We teach our kids to plan. Moms teach their children to be like them and look at now. Don't worry about anything. And this is why a number of our children, I'm not saying all moms, but a number of them do. But again, these sons, this is how simps are born. And this is how feminine males are born. Watch this clip. Listen to the people talking about the closeness between these mothers and their sons, their use.
This is your life.
You really need to take my son from me. It's always just been me and Michael. You know, I'm his mom, like I'm supposed to protect him. But Mom, it's just so hard, honey. Mom. You're my only one.
Who is she?
Oh my God.
I don't know who she is. What is your mom doing? Setting you up on a date?
I don't know. I don't know how to respond.
Are you serious?
This is not the type of girl that I want for my son. You're pig. Just go away.
I don't have any more patience to fix the relationship with his mother.
Now, granted, with some of these girls, they're whacked out themselves. Like this is Emily. Never trusted her. She's crazy. Kimberly, she's also crazy. Okay. So there are some portions in these clips that if you listen, but you have to watch the show on TLC too. Go back, start from season 1, because I love this show. It actually feeds into what I talk about. But some of these moms do make some sense because these modern girls, they want everything. And I'm showing you the ones for all the individuals that think it's just black women who do this. Absolutely not. These are all yuppie white women. And this one is a Korean woman and a Middle Eastern woman. America and feminism has basically indoctrinated most women. This is why we live in the jungle. And the way you get around the jungle is you have to map yourself on a road that's less traveled sometimes. Think outside the box. Don't be a sheep. But again, the moms are dictating everything for their sons, and their sons are afraid to stand up for themselves. Fair use.
Emily says break up.
I would never tell my mom, you need to butt out.
I begin to question where I stand in his life.
If he's not gonna put me first, then I'm not really sure where we're gonna go from here.
No, Shakib, you're not gonna leave me. Mama gonna die.
That is not true.
You are the one
Don't
make
talk
my
about
life miserable. I'm sick of you.
Wow. And this is what happens. Modern day relationships. Again, you saw situations where the mom wants to control everything. It's failure to launch. The sons. There's nothing wrong with loving your mother, but the sons have to defend themselves. And I'm just going to say this, and it's going to sting with some of the guys. Women want real men. I don't care what you see on TV. I don't care what you see here on YouTube. If you want respect from a woman, you have to be a real man. Women are not going to respect a simp. Oh, they'll use them, but they're not going to respect them. And they're not going to respect them because the simp, the white knight, the eunuch, he's already been controlled. He's already been dumped off by women. And this has nothing to do with red pill or blue pill. Not even going to mention pills. I'm going to just mention common sense. Because one thing that was mentioned that was not mentioned with I Love a Mama's Boy, where are the male friends of their sons? You didn't see them, did you? No. Because if there were male friends, you would also see a different tone. The son would say, don't talk to my mom like that. Now there's another clip where there was a Spanish lady. His son is married to a Caucasian woman. And the son says, I give my mom her way just to keep the peace. Ladies, you don't want to be involved with a man like that. He's going to let you down every time. And in the end, you're always going to be at the bottom of the totem pole. So I'm just going to say this to close it out. Men and women have boundaries. for who you let in and out of your life. Now, of course, I'm not going to say family is not important, because family is important. But family is also your biggest enemy. The people who love you, they're going to be the ones that deceive you some of the time. But you can't let everybody in your life, because once that happens, you basically compromise yourself, your relationship, and that's what's happened on I Love a Mama's Boy. And of course, that's also happened on Smothered. Because basically, I Love a Mama's Boy and Smothered, you're getting the same deal, opposite sides of the same coin. So in the end, know where you are before you even get into a relationship. Ladies, don't date a mama's boy. Guys, don't date a daddy's little girl. I'm not saying parents shouldn't teach their kids respect and boundaries. They should, but you got to cut the apron strings. That's the bottom line. Because when you don't cut the apron strings, the children lose out, and you also lose out. And there's a lot of selfishness that has taken place. See, these moms have already lived their lives. I mean, they're looking for their kids to take care of them. And generally what happens, their kids are going to resent their moms. And when their moms go to a nursing home, their moms are going to be there by themselves. And this is when you get that old adage, they're going to die alone. And again, these moms have husbands, but they won't let their husbands be part of the family. It's like the husband's just there, pays all the bills, that's it. He's an ATM machine. But overall, be a man, deal with positive men. Don't deal with men who are docile. Understand that life is challenging, but you can make it. But make sure you have the right people who are going to steer you down the right path. There's a lot of jealousy out there, particularly around family, friends. Call them your friends. They're your friends until you decide to go in an upward direction while they stay the same, and they'll get jealous of you. But overall, you only live once. Men, and of course women, have boundaries in your relationships when it comes to allowing other people to enter your relationships, because once you do, you compromise your relationship. And when that happens, you'll be seeing clips like I Love a Mama's Boy and Smothered. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're looking for some more educational content, check out the QCIS channel, formerly the Mind of STEM channel. That channel will give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, if you cannot find me on YouTube, you can always check me out on Twitter. Again, if you can't find me on YouTube, check me out on Twitter. Now, for the QCIS channel, I take it one step further since it's the educational channel. You can also find the QCIS channel on LinkedIn. And again, next week, I'll be streaming again. But when it comes to panels, I'm going to work on doing more pre-recorded content, because I like doing pre-recorded content, because that lets you know who the person really is. Panels, they don't tell you everything. There's some people who get on panels and they don't have channels. So like, share, and subscribe. Get the likes up on this video, because this video is a teaching video. Of course, it's a reaction video as well. I got more content coming up, so stay tuned, because in the end, just want you to be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And for individuals who they think I'm talking about, or I might be talking about you, if I'm not talking about you, I'll say this. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear it. If you don't like the shoe, change it. Once again, thank you for listening to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you all to have a wonderful and gracious evening. God bless you. I'm out.